Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're running on a hamster wheel with your finances? You work hard, you bring home a paycheck, but at the end of the month, you're left wondering where all your money went. You see a shiny new TV or the latest iPhone, and the store says, no problem, pay just $50 a month. Zero interest. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But let me tell you the truth. What they're really offering you is a financial nightmare wrapped up in a pretty little bow.
You're not just buying that new gadget. You're buying stress, restrictions, and a future tied to someone else's terms. You're making payments on something that might not even matter to you 6 months from now.
That, my friends, is the real cost of buying on installments.
Here's the deal. When you finance something, you aren't living in financial freedom. You're living in financial chains. Every time you say yes to an installment plan, you're saying no to your future.
You're signing away your most powerful wealth building tool, your income. You're putting someone else's profits ahead of your peace of mind.
And for what? Couch? A phone?
Couch, a phone, car. That's going to lose half its value the second you drive it off the lot.
You think you're winning the game because the payments are affordable. But let me be clear. Affordable payments don't mean you're wealthy. They mean you're broke, just in smaller monthly increments.
I know what you're thinking. Dave, I need this thing now. I deserve it. Listen, I get it. I've been there. But let me share a hard truth with you. You don't deserve to be in debt. You deserve to live without fear of the next bill coming in the mail. You deserve to keep the money you've worked so hard for. Buying on installments feels good in the moment, but the moment doesn't last. The payments do. The stress does.
And let me tell you, those payments don't just take money out of your wallet. They take freedom out of your life.
You know what's really convenient? Having no payments. Owning things outright. Knowing that your paycheck is yours to keep. That's the kind of freedom you can't put a price tag on.
When you avoid installment plans, you're not just saving money. You're saving your future. Imagine this. You walk into a store, and instead of looking at the monthly payment plan, you pay cash. You own it right then and there. No interest, no extra fees. No one owning you. Doesn't that sound better than playing catch up with payments for the next 12, 24, or even 36 months? The truth is, installment plans are designed to keep you in the rat race. They're not there to help you. They're there to help the company make money off of you. Do you really think they're offering you zero interest out of the goodness of their hearts?
No, they're betting you'll miss a payment or two. They're banking on late fees, penalties, and interest kicking in down the line. They're not helping you get ahead. They're keeping you behind.
Every installment plan is a deal where they win and you lose.
So here's my challenge to you. The next time you're tempted to buy something on an installment plan, stop and ask yourself, do I really need this right now? Could I save for it instead? The truth is, waiting won't kill you.
But debt might. Freedom is worth the wait. Trust me, I've lived on both sides of this. I've been in debt up to my eyeballs, and I've lived debt-free. Let me tell you, life without payments is a whole lot sweeter. And it's a life you can have if you choose to say no to installments and yes to freedom. You've got what it takes to break free. You just need to start making different decisions. And it starts today. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're running on a hamster wheel with your finances? You work hard, you bring home a paycheck, but at the end of the month, you're left wondering where all your money went.
You see a shiny new TV or the latest iPhone, and the store says, no problem, pay just $50 a month, zero interest. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But let me tell you the truth. What they're really offering you is a financial nightmare wrapped up in a pretty little bow.
You're not just buying that new gadget. You're buying stress, restrictions, and a future tied to someone else's terms. You're making payments on something that might not even matter to you 6 months from now.
That, my friends, is the real cost of buying on installments.
Here's the deal. When you finance something, you aren't living in financial freedom. You're living in financial chains. Every time you say yes to an installment plan, you're saying no to your future.
You're signing away your most powerful wealth building tool, your income. You're putting someone else's profits ahead of your peace of mind. And for what? A couch, a phone. A couch, a phone, a car that's going to lose half its value the second you drive it off the lot.
You think you're winning the game because the payments are affordable. But let me be clear.
Affordable payments don't mean you're wealthy.
They mean you're broke, just in smaller monthly increments.
I know what you're thinking. Dave, I need this thing now. I deserve it. Listen, I get it. I've been there. But let me share a hard truth with you. You don't deserve to be in debt. You deserve to live without fear of the next bill coming in the mail. You deserve to keep the money you've worked so hard for. Buying on installments feels good in the moment, but the moment doesn't last. The payments do. The stress does. And let me tell you, those payments don't just take money out of your wallet. They take freedom out of your life.
You know what's really convenient? Having no payments. Owning things outright. Knowing that your paycheck is yours to keep. That's the kind of freedom you can't put a price tag on. When you avoid installment plans, you're not just saving money. You're saving your future. Imagine this. You walk into a store and instead of looking at the monthly payment plan, you pay cash. You own it right then and there. No interest, no extra fees, no one owning you. Doesn't that sound better than playing catch up with payments for the next 12, 24, or even 36 months? The truth is, installment plans are designed to keep you in the rat race. They're not there to help you. They're there to help the company make money off of you. Do you really think they're offering you zero? Do you really think they're offering you zeroed in interest out of the goodness of their heart? No, they're betting you'll miss a payment or two. They're banking on late fees, penalties, and interest kicking in down the line. They're not helping you get ahead. They're keeping you behind. Every installment plan is a deal where they win and you lose.
So here's my challenge to you. The next time you're tempted to buy something on an installment plan, stop and ask yourself, do I really need this right now? Could I save for it instead? The truth is, waiting won't kill you, but debt might. Freedom is worth the wait. Trust me, I've lived on both sides of this. I've been in debt up to my eyeballs, and I've lived debt free. Let me tell you, life without payments is a whole lot sweeter. And it's a life you can have if you choose to say no to installments and yes to freedom. You've got what it takes to break free.
You just need to start making different decisions.
And it starts today. Let's pull back the curtain and get real for a moment. Installment plans aren't just about breaking payments into manageable chunks. They're about making you pay more than you should and keeping you in a constant state of financial stress. Think about it. That $1,000 sofa you finance with only $50 a month. By the time you're done paying the interest fees and maybe a few late charges, you've shelled out $1,750. That's $750. That's $750 you could have saved, invested, or used for something that actually builds your wealth, not drains it. And for what? A sofa that's probably stained with coffee spills and dog hair by the time you've made the last payment. That's the reality of financing, my friends. It's not helping you. It's hurting you. The problem is that most people don't stop to think about the real cost of financing. They see the low monthly payment and think, I can handle that. But they don't think about how those payments add up over time. Let me break it down for you. If you're constantly making payments on a car, a phone, a washer and dryer, and a dozen other things, how much of your paycheck is actually left for you? Not much. That's because you're not just paying for those items. You're paying for the privilege of borrowing money. And the people who loaned you that money, they're laughing all the way to the bank while you're stressing over making ends meet. That's not living. It's surviving. And you deserve better than that. You see, installment plans are like quicksand. At first, it feels safe. You step in and you're holding steady. But then little by little, you start to sink. Before you know it, you're up to your neck in payments, wondering how you got there. And here's the worst part. Most people don't even realize they're sinking. They think this is just how life works. Whoa. But I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to keep sinking. You can climb out of the quicksand, but you've got to stop stepping into it in the first place.
Now, let's talk about the emotional toll of all this.
You know, that feeling when you open your mail and see another bill, that little pang of anxiety. That's the cost of financing too.
It's not just about the dollars and cents. It's about the weight it puts on your shoulders. Debt steals your peace. It robs you of the ability to breathe easy.
Every time you sign up for another installment plan, you're signing up for more stress, more sleepless nights, and more of that awful pit in your stomach when you realize you're living paycheck to paycheck.
Is that sofa, that TV, or that car really worth all that? Here's the thing. When you're making payments on stuff, you're not in control of your money. Your money is in control of you. You're working hard, but you're not working for yourself. You're working for the bank, the finance company, or the credit card company. You're making them rich while you stay stuck. It's like running a marathon, but instead of moving forward, you're stuck on a treadmill. You're exhausted, but you're not getting anywhere.
And that's exactly how they want it to be. They don't want you to pay off your debts quickly. They want you to stay on the treadmill forever because that's how they make their money.
So let me ask you this. Who do you want to be rich? Them or you? Every dollar you send to a finance company is a dollar. That's not working for you. It's not going into your retirement fund, your savings account, or your kids' college fund.
It's going into someone else's pocket. And let's be real. Those companies don't care about your financial future. They don't care if you're struggling to pay for groceries or keep the lights on. All they care about is getting their money. But you have the power to care. You have the power to take control of your finances and build a future that doesn't involve monthly payments and endless bills.
Here's the bottom line. Installment plans don't make things affordable. They make you poor. They take away your freedom, your peace of mind, and your ability to build real wealth. So the next time you're tempted by a low monthly payment, I want you to remember this. Every payment you make is a step backward, not forward. It's a step away from freedom and toward financial bondage. And you, my friend, were not made to live in bondage. You were made to live in freedom. Let's start living like it. Let's talk about one of the slickest traps in the financial world.
Zero interest deals. You've seen the ads, right? Buy now, pay later with 0 at 0, APOR for 12 months. It sounds like the perfect solution. You get what you want now, and it doesn't cost you a penny more.
At least that's what they want you to think. But let me tell you something. There's no such thing as a free lunch, and there's no such thing as a free loan. These deals are not about helping you. These deals are not about helping the lender. The retailer and the credit card company make more money off you. Zero interest isn't generosity. It's a business strategy, and it's one that's designed to keep you broke. Here's how it works. The company lures you in with the promise of no interest, and you think, this is a great deal. I'd be crazy not to take it. But buried in the fine print. Oh, and there's always fine print. Oh, and there's always fine print. You'll find the real story. Miss one payment even by a day, and that's zero interest. It's gone. Poof. Just like that.
And now, not only are you paying interest, but you're paying it retroactively on the entire balance, back to the date of purchase.
That $1,500 fridge you thought you were getting interest free, suddenly it's costing you $2,000. And that's not an accident. It's the plan. They're betting on you to slip up, even just once, because they know life happens.
You get busy, you forget, or you hit a rough patch. And when you do, they're ready to pounce.
But wait, there's more. Even if you manage to make every payment on time, there's another sneaky cost you're probably not thinking about. It's the opportunity cost. You see, every dollar you're using to pay off that zero interest loan is a dollar that could be working for you somewhere else. Instead of putting that money into your savings, your retirement fund, or even just a rainy day account, you're sending it to a retailer. You're helping them grow their business while your financial future stays on hold.
It's like watering someone else's garden while your own plants are withering. Sure, you're making payments, but you're not making progress.
And let's not forget the psychological trap. Zero interest makes you feel like you're getting something for nothing, so you're more likely to buy things you don't need and can't afford.
It gives you permission to overspend.
After all, it's not real debt.
Right? Wrong. Debt is debt no matter how you package it. Just because it's wrapped up in a pretty bow and labeled zero doesn't mean it's not a burden. And the more you rely on these deals, the more you train yourself to live beyond your means. You get used to the idea that it's okay to buy now and pay later, and before you know it, you're juggling payments on 5 different zero interest
plans and wondering why you're constantly stressed about money. Here's the kicker. Retailers and lenders aren't the only ones making money off these deals. They've got a silent partner in the game, your emotions. They know you'll justify the purchase by telling yourself it's no big deal. I'll pay it off before the interest kicks in. But that's just the dopamine talking. You're not making a rational financial decision. You're chasing the thrill of instant gratification. And let me tell you, that thrill is expensive. It might feel good in the moment, but it doesn't last. The payments do. The stress does. And the regret. That sticks around too. So what's the alternative? It's simple. Stop falling for the trap. When you see a zero interest deal, remind yourself that it's not a deal at all. It's a trick. Save up and pay cash instead. When you pay cash, you're not just saving money. You're taking control. You're saying, I'm not playing your game. I'm playing mine. And trust me, the satisfaction of owning something outright with no strings attached is worth so much more than the fleeting excitement of walking out of the store with a finance purchase. Here's the bottom line. Zero interest is a shiny hook, and you're the fish. Don't take the bait. You're smarter than that, and your future's worth more than any easy payment plan. Break free from the lie that you need debt to have nice things. The truth is, nice things don't feel so nice when they come with a side of stress and regret. Choose freedom. Choose peace. And the next time someone offers you a zero interest deal, smile and say, no thanks, I've got a better plan. Because you do. You've got a plan that's built on wisdom, patience, and the knowledge that your money works best when it's working for you, not for someone else. That's real financial freedom, and it's waiting for you on the other side of no.
Let's have a heart to heart, because we need to talk about one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. I deserve it.
You've been there. You're standing in the store looking at that shiny new gadget, that dream car, or that luxurious piece of furniture, and you think, I work hard. I've earned this. I deserve it. And maybe you do. But let me ask you something. Do you deserve the payments that come with it? Do you deserve the stress of trying to juggle one more monthly bill?
Do you deserve the anxiety that hits when an unexpected expense pops up and you realize you've already committed every spare dollar to something you couldn't actually afford? Because that's the part we never think about when we convince ourselves we deserve something. We focus on the excitement of having it now and completely ignore the burden we're signing up for later.
The truth is, we all fall for this trap because it feels good. It's easy to justify overspending when you frame it as a reward for your hard work. And let's be honest, we live in a culture that's constantly telling us we're not enough unless we have the latest and greatest. Everywhere you look, there's an ad whispering, or sometimes shouting, upgrade your life, treat yourself. But let me tell you something that advertisers will never say. True contentment doesn't come from more stuff. It doesn't come from a fancier car, a bigger TV, or a new wardrobe. It comes from knowing you're in control of your money and your life. And when you buy things you can't afford, you're not in control. The payments are. Here's the thing. When you convince yourself you deserve something, what you're really saying is, I deserve to feel good right now. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel good. But the problem is, instant gratification always comes at a price. And that price is almost always higher than you think. It's not just the dollars and cents. It's the emotional weight of living paycheck to paycheck because you're trying to pay for things you couldn't afford in the first place.
It's the regret that sneaks in when the shine wears off your new toy and you're left with nothing but a stack of bills. And let me tell you, that regret, it doesn't feel like something you deserve.
You know what you really deserve? You deserve peace. You deserve freedom. You deserve to sleep at night without worrying about how you're going to make ends meet. And you don't get those things by chasing the next shiny object or signing up for another payment plan. You get them by being intentional with your money and refusing to let your emotions drive your financial decisions. Because here's the hard truth. Every time you buy something on credit or with an installment plan, you're borrowing from your future self.
And your future self, they deserve better. They deserve to have options, to be able to say yes to opportunities, to give generously, and to live without the weight of debt hanging over their head.
That's the kind of life you really deserve. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, I deserve this, I want you to pause and ask yourself a different question. What do I deserve more? Do you deserve the temporary thrill of having something now, or do you deserve the long peace that comes from staying out of debt?
Do you deserve to feel good for a moment, or do you deserve to feel secure for a lifetime? Do you deserve a quick fix, or do you deserve a quick fix? Or do you deserve real freedom? Because when you look at it that way, the choice becomes pretty clear.
Here's what I know. When you stop chasing the lie that you deserve stuff, you start to discover what you truly deserve. You start to see that the best things in life aren't bought on a whim or financed with payments.
They're earned through hard work, patience, and a commitment to living within your means. They're found in the peace that comes from knowing you're not enslaved to debt. And when you experience that kind of peace, you'll never want to go back to the old way of thinking. You'll realize that the stuff you thought you couldn't live without isn't nearly as valuable as the freedom you've gained. So my challenge to you is this. The next time you hear that little voice in your head saying, I deserve this, I want you to challenge it. Remind yourself that you deserve more than just stuff. You deserve a life that's free from financial stress. You deserve a future that's not held hostage by monthly payments. And most importantly, you deserve to live in freedom, not bondage.
Because let me tell you, when you start living like no one else, when you make the hard choices now, you'll be able to live and give like no one else later. And that's a life worth working for. That's a life you truly deserve.
Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine walking into a store, seeing something you've been wanting for months, a new couch, a sleek laptop, or the perfect dining room set. Instead of immediately asking, what's the monthly payment?
Or pulling out a credit card, you reach into your wallet and pay for it in cash. No financing, no interest, no payments hanging over your head. Just you owning what you buy outright and walking out the door with your head held high.
How does that feel? Liberating, right?
That's the power of taking control of your money. It's not just about what you buy. It's about how you buy. It's about how you buy it. It's about how you buy it. And when you commit to saving and spending wisely, you're not just buying things. You're buying peace of mind, freedom, and a brighter future.
But let's be honest. Saving up for something instead of buying it on credit feels a little old-fashioned in today's world, doesn't it? We're surrounded by a culture that screams, why wait? You can have it now.
Instant gratification has become the norm, and the idea of waiting, saving, and paying cash feels like a foreign concept.
But let me tell you something. Just because it's not popular doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do.
In fact, it's the smartest, most powerful financial decision you can make. Because when you save up and pay cash, you're not just avoiding debt, you're building discipline, and that discipline spills over into every area of your life. Let me give you an example. You've got your eye on a $1,500 TV. Instead of signing up for a payment plan, you decide to save $250 a month for 6 months. During that time, you might realize something incredible. You're thinking about that TV differently. You're asking yourself, do I really need this? Is this the best use of my money?
By the time you've saved enough to buy it outright, you're not just buying a TV. You're buying it with confidence, knowing it's a purchase you can afford without sacrificing your financial goal.
And here's the kicker. It feels better when you pay cash. There's no buyer's remorse, no stress about monthly payments, and no interest piling up. It's just you owning your decision and your stuff. 100. But this isn't just about buying things. It's about changing the way you think about money. When you commit to saving first and spending later, you're shifting your mindset from I want it now to I want it now to I want financial freedom more.
That shift is powerful. It's the kind of mindset that helps you build an emergency fund, pay off debt, and start investing for your future. It's the kind of mindset that turns your paycheck into a tool for building wealth, not a ticket to more stuff. And the best part, it's a habit you can start today. It doesn't matter if you've been living paycheck to paycheck or drowning in debt. You can start taking small steps toward financial freedom right now.
Here's how you do it. First, set a budget. If you don't tell your money where to go, it's going to disappear and you'll be left wondering where it all went. Budget isn't about restriction. It's about intention. It's about taking control of your finances and making sure every dollar is working toward your goals. Yeah. Next, build an emergency fund. Life is full of surprises, and having 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up means you won't have to turn to credit cards or loans the next time your car breaks down or a medical bill shows up. Finally, start saving for the things you want. Whether it's a new couch, a family vacation, or a down payment on a house, set a goal, break it into manageable chunks, and stick to it.
I know what you're thinking.
Dave, this sounds hard. And you're right, it's hard. It's hard to say no to instant gratification. It's hard to wait when everyone around you seems to be living their best life on credit.
But let me tell you something. It's worth it. Because when you choose to save and spend wisely, you're not just making a financial decision, you're making a life decision. You're choosing to live differently, to step off the hamster wheel of debt and into a life of freedom and control. And let me tell you that life, it's better. It's better because you're not weighed down by payments. It's better because you're not stressing about money every time an unexpected expense pops up. And it's better because you're in charge of your future, not the bank. So here's my challenge to you. Start today. Set a budget. Start saving and commit to paying cash for the things you want. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it.
And when you walk into that store, cash in hand, and walk out owning what you bought outright, you'll know what true freedom feels like. It's not just about having more money. It's about having more money. It's about having more peace, more confidence, and more control.
And that, my friends, is a life worth working for. So go out there, take control, and start living the life you deserve. One that's free from debt and full of possibilities. You've got this. Let me ask you something. What would your life look like if you didn't have any payments? Imagine waking up in the morning knowing that your paycheck is yours. Not Visas, not MasterCards, not the auto lenders or the furniture stores. Not the auto lenders or the furniture stores. Yours. Imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing that your money is free to work for you, not for someone else. That's what financial freedom looks like. And let me tell you, there's no couch car or credit card reward that can compete with the feeling of living without debt. It's a gift you give yourself, your family, and your future. And the best part, it's a gift you can start giving today. You see, debt isn't just about numbers on a piece of paper. It's about what those numbers represent. Every payment you make is a trade-off. You're trading your freedom for the illusion of convenience, your peace for the thrill of instant gratification. And that trade-off, it's never worth it. Debt doesn't just take your money. It takes your options. It takes your ability to say yes to the things that really matter. Want to take a family vacation. Sorry, those payments are due. Want to give generously to because you care about. Can't because your budget is tied up with monthly bills. Want to invest in your future, your kids, or your dreams. Tough luck. Debt has already spent that money for you.
But here's the truth that no one ever tells you. You don't have to live this way. Debt isn't a requirement for life. It's a choice. And when you choose to step away from it, you're not just making a financial decision. You're making a life decision. You're making a life decision.
You're choosing to live differently, to live intentionally, and to create a future that's not weighed down by the mistakes of the past. And let me tell you that choice. It's powerful. It's the kind of choice that changes everything because it's not just about getting out of debt. It's about staying out of debt and building a life of true financial independence. Here's what I want you to know.
Freedom isn't just about the absence of debt. It's about the presence of possibilities. When you're not tied to payments, you can say yes to the things that matter most. You can send your kids to college without student loans. You can take that dream vacation without worrying about how you'll pay it off. You can retire with dignity, knowing that your money will last as long as you do. And you can give generously, joyfully, and without hesitation because your finances are no longer holding you back. That's the kind of life I want for you. That's the kind of life you deserve.
But let's be real. Getting there takes work. It takes sacrifice. It takes saying no to things you want now so you can say yes to the things you want most. It takes living like no one else so that later you can live, and no one else so that later you can live. No one else.
And yes, it's hard. But let me tell you something. It's worth it. Because every dollar you save, every payment you avoid, every step you take toward financial freedom is a step toward financial freedom, is a step toward a life that's not controlled by money, but guided by purpose. So here's my challenge to you. Stop settling for the lie that debt is normal. Stop believing the myth that you need payments to have a good life. Start dreaming about what your life could look like without debt, and then make a plan to get there.
Start small. Build an emergency fund. Pay off one debt at a time and commit to never going back. It won't happen overnight, but with every step you take, you'll feel the weight lifting off your shoulder. And one day, you'll wake up and realize that you've done it. You've taken control of your money and your life.
And when that day comes, you'll feel something you might not have felt in a long time. Peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from having stuff, but the kind of peace that comes from knowing you're free to dream, free to give, free to live the life you were meant to live. That's the gift of financial freedom, and it's waiting for you. So go out there, make the hard choices, and start building the future you deserve. Because let me tell you, when you live without payments, you're not just living differently, you're living better. And that, my friends, is the greatest gift of all.